Welcome back to Reddit Story Time. Today we have three incredible stories. Let's dive right in.
Story number 1. We're not allowed to serve anyone after 4 a.m. The narrator works the night shift at a famous fast food chain, the kind that sells burgers and fries everywhere on Earth. Day shifts are normal. Night shifts have rules that make no sense with consequences for breaking them. First rule, at exactly 12:13 a.m., the drive-thru empties itself, not goes quiet empties. One night there were 5 cars mid-order. And when the clock ticked over, the line was gone. Every car. A man who'd paid seconds earlier turned the corner and simply vanished, leaving the worker holding 2 bags of fries. So now, restaurant policy. The drive-thru is blocked 5 minutes before 12:13. Never serve into that minute. Second rule. At 12:15, a brown Chevrolet Impala rolls up. A man in a fedora and trench coat. He never orders. You say good morning at the payment window. Good night at the pickup window. Nothing else. No small talk. He drives off. Every single night. Third, at 1 a.m., the family arrives. 2 adults, 2 kids, and they get in though the doors are locked, though the whole place was barricaded once as a test. They simply appear inside. The parents never speak, and their faces are never the same twice. The family keeps switching. The kids order for everyone, 2 large meals for the kids, 2 kids' meals for the parents. No mayo, no pickles. They check the bag, smile in unison, and leave. Except once it was a single child and a dog, and as they left, the mother turned, looked at the narrator, and barked. Then 2 a.m., 5 cars, 5 colored shirts, yellow, red, blue, green, and the last guy. They swap positions between the windows. Nobody sees it happen. The last guy once punched a coworker over wrong fries. At 2:57, all the fryer oil begins to sizzle hotter and hotter. Machines off, plastic containers melting until 3:00 sharp when everything reverts. Melted plastic whole again. And at 3:00 begins the hour the narrator hates most, the feasting hour. Anything ordered must be eaten by the staff. The narrator ignored that rule once, and a spray of boiling oil crossed his arm, agony, and the next morning the skin was perfect. Unburned. Erased. But the worst rule is the last one. After 4 a.m., nobody eats. Not staff, not customers. Nothing. A coworker named Steven broke it, 8 fries at 4:05 and changed. He tried to feed the manager into the deep fryer, eyes wide, drooling, gone. He's in prison now. And at 5 a.m., shifts end, the fedora man's Impala returns. The manager calls him the owner. The workers just call him. If you did everything right. He says 2 words, good job. The narrator finishes writing this alone, on shift, eating fries from the feasting hour, and then notices. The clocks on the wall don't match his phone anymore. He's been feeling funny for a while now. He was going to quit today or tomorrow, this place. The post ends there.
And the verdict, never eat after 4 a.m.
Story number 2. My entire town just broke character. An ordinary Monday. Snooze button mad dash forgot his lunch until the commute. Dozens of cars sitting idle in the road, not parked. Idle. Drivers slumped over their wheels. Our narrator, Mac, swerves around them all and makes it to work, where his coworker, Steve, a man who never chats, greets him warmly. Too warmly. Mac heads for his boss, Jim's office, the one person he trusts, and is blocked. Jim's out sick today. Except Mac can see Jim's silhouette through the frosted glass, standing there, not moving. On his way back, he stops at his friend Sandy's desk, and Sandy is slumped over, eyes open, vacant. Gray, like static on a dead TV channel. When Mac panics, the others perform concern. Steve announces he's CPR certified. Carol from HR insists they'll handle everything. Go back to your desk. You'll only get in the way. Nobody calls an ambulance. Nobody hurries. Then an email lands. Due to inclement weather, everyone should work from home. The sky is barely cloudy. Mac drives to a coffee shop to collect himself and finds the owner, Larry, an old high school friend, hauling a limp barrister upright, the same static gray stare. Larry stammers something about narcolepsy, then slips Mac a look, walks to the restroom, and waits. In adjacent stalls, Larry whispers the only explanation Mac will ever get. I don't know if they can hear us in here. Act normal. They're watching. That's how people disappear, Mac. Order a coffee, go home, don't let on. Mac does everything right. Orders the black coffee, heads for his car. And then a blow to the back of his head. Darkness. He wakes in his own bed the next morning, alarms screaming, a full day missing, wearing pajamas he doesn't remember putting on. A dream. There's dried blood on the back of his head. He photographs it as proof. He goes back to work, traffic normal now, no idle cars, and confronts Jim, who listens, then suggests Mac take a sick day. Sandy. alive, cheerful, and genuinely does not remember any episode. Everyone stares as Mac backs out of the building. He runs to the one person who knows, the coffee shop. And the girl at the counter, Clara, the one who'd been slumped and static, smiles and asks how she can help him. "Is Larry in today?" Mac asks. Her brow furrows honest confusion. "We don't have anyone named Larry working here." 4 days now, Mac has been holed up in his house. The bump is still there. He remembers everything. Someone, please. He doesn't know what they did with Larry, but he has a feeling he's next.
And the verdict: act normal, they're watching.
Story number 3. Something visited me during a power outage. 19 years old, alone on the overnight shift at a gas station on the edge of town. 10 p.m. to 6:30 in the morning, one employee, an empty highway. On the way in that night, a storm rolling in, a deer bolts across the road, and when the narrator checks his rearview mirror, the deer has turned and is watching him drive away. The shift starts normal. A dozen customers, then fewer, then none. The storm swallowing the road, then the lights die. He ducks under the counter, groping for a flashlight, and when he straightens up, a man is standing in front of him. Tall, black cloak, hood up, round, bearded face barely visible. No jingle of the door, no footsteps. He'd only looked away for a second, and the detail that freezes the blood: outside it's pouring, and this man is completely dry. No umbrella, no wet shoulders. Nothing. The stranger speaks slowly, flatly. "You have drinks here, then you have any smokes, what do you recommend?" And then the line that stops the narrator's heart: "You know those are bad for you. You shouldn't smoke," and he says the narrator's name. The name badge, the man explains, of course. The badge. The register's dead with the power out, so the narrator tells him to take the water and cigarettes on the house. "Just leave, please," and the stranger says, "I'm not leaving. Not yet." Minutes crawl. Then headlights. A white car pulls to a pump, and 2 young men jog through the rain toward the doors. Rescue. The narrator has never felt so relieved. And then the stranger turns and moves faster than he has all night, striding to the glass doors and glaring out at them. And the 2 young men stop dead. One of them screams. They stumble over each other in the rain, scramble back into the car, and the driver peels out so hard the tires scream. Whatever they saw through those doors, they knew. The stranger turns back, blinks for the first time all night, and smiles, white, pearly teeth. "Have a great night," he says, and uses the name again. He pushes the door open and walks out, and by the time the narrator reaches the lock, the parking lot is empty. No car, no footsteps. No one walking in any direction. He was just gone. 2 hours later, the power returns, and the shift somehow finishes. At dawn, the morning man, Seth, arrives shaking the narrator's hand. "Man, I'm glad you're okay. You didn't see the news? Some guys robbed a gas station a few miles away last night, shot the attendant. White Toyota, 2 young guys and a driver." The narrator's blood goes cold as he understands those were the robbers. They were coming here next, armed, and they fled in absolute terror from whatever stood between them and those doors. Which leaves the question that ends the story. What did they see that he couldn't? And one more detail, the one the narrator leaves us with. He walks to his car, shaking, and reaches for his phone charger. It's lying on the passenger seat, right next to his name badge, which never left the car. The stranger couldn't have read it, so how did he know his name?
And the verdict: not every stranger is the threat.
That's all for today. If you enjoyed these stories, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more. See you next time.